Well, good evening. I'm your host, Robert Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom, presenting 7 reasons why beliefs are thieves. So I ask myself this question: why are beliefs and believe subconscious thieves? As I was awakened and aware to understand, beliefs and believe function as an unconscious thief because they silently shape perception through your viewpoints, opinions, and beliefs. Because all your viewpoints, opinion, and beliefs come from the outside world, and so they silently shape perception without conscious awareness, stealing the sovereign emergence of your enterprising wisdom by reinforcing inherited limitations. That's one thing I'm really starting to understand. That's where we really get into a challenge with self-help, personal growth, self-improvement, and written and published written books and therapy, is because of cognitive recollections, um, and mindset resistance and comfort zone stubbornness, because they operate beneath the surface, dictating our reactions, filtering experiences, and subtly programming what we think is truth and reality, but it really is a fallacy because it comes from outside sources and it's already programmed in your subconscious. So when it occurs, you're just going into your subconscious without questioning it. And we never question a belief's origin or where we got it. And that's something I'm really opened up to. At the end of this, we're going to talk about how you question and you listen and question your way out of beliefs. Then you expand of something else. As I'm awakened and aware of my sassy sovereign liberation, it isn't about erasing the mind. Sovereign liberation dissolves the control that energizes your energetic wisdom, animating unfettered, limitless, autonomous expansion, communicating away cultural conditioned beliefs and belief acts that mirror railroad tracks. See, that's something about the opinions, viewpoints, and beliefs. Mirrors railroad tracks. It goes right down straight, but it never allows you to rise out of your ingrained patterns that lock you and me into predictable routes rather than allowing energetic movement and expansion. When left unexamined, unquestioned, and unlistened to, they hijack attunement and they hijack your life. And you start believing into things, and then you get mad at something going on out here, but really it's our ineptness to expand forward. And it prevents a liberating energy that will dissolve. It's a liberated energy dissolving the ability to nowveal. Nowveal is a new word. It's like reveal, but it's nowveal right here. However, beliefs are consciously explored. They shift from thieves to tools, but they really rise with being an energized, energetic innovation, being a tour guide of perception and prowess, and unleashing autonomous expansion rather than confinement. Because when we just use the word beliefs and we use our normal thinking and let everything go, we're in cultural confinement. We never realize it is. So as the sovereign activation instills sovereign switches, shutting down the thought patterns towards shutting down the patterns of habitual thinking, knowing, and being too stubborn, opening up the wisdom and innovation to rise out of the control of my subconscious mind's viewpoints, of beliefs and opinions, and liberates me from me, because my subconscious mind, frozen in time representations, are never my sovereign essence, because they are my beliefs, opinions, and viewpoint are inherited echoes from the outside world, from what I experienced from the womb to 5, and they're shaped and aggravated and from my past conditioning. That all passed out of my life 10 seconds ago. Instantly energized my imaged inspirations. Turned on my sovereign liberated wisdom, effortlessly rising beyond my subconscious mind, frozen in time, viewpoints, opinions, and beliefs that control me through my ancestors' way, my parents' way, and my way, because of the way I instilled it. And something about the subconscious mind, it videos and it receives and embeds things that I forget. It's about 40 things a second or 400 things, but it's an astronomical amount. But my frozen in time viewpoints, opinion, beliefs control me without me having a clue. Because we think if I have a viewpoint, an opinion, and a belief, I'm tough and I'm strong and I can't be. I'm like Superman. However, life is the kryptonite to feature that. As I rose, I communicate emancipating elegance to dance through me, instantly liberates me from my illusionary constraints of myself. Your constraints and everything, all your limitations are within you. None's in the physical, zero's in the physical world. You know, that's something I really awakened to, is the external world is innocent. My viewpoints, opinions, my stubbornness, hard-headedness, egotistical arrogance, know-it-all ignorance, and always happen to be right. That was my challenge. And man, did I energize some interesting situations in my life. But after admitting that, it opens a way for me to effortlessly emerge beyond my self-programmed concepts, self-imposed ignorance, or whatever. But I rise as I now understand and admit. Viewpoints dictate perception. So as I admit to that, breaking free allows fluid, animated adventures to flow through me. Opinions shape identity. By rising out of my opinions, unveils my boundless, endless innovations. Beliefs anchor limitations. Man, did I have some beliefs, and did they anchor some good limitations? By admitting this to me, I release them, activates my here and now expansion. Subconscious imprints cycle repetition. As my sovereign liberating, politically incorrect inspiration dissolves stagnations. As beliefs and believe are my self-embedded thieves, because belief and thief unconsciously limits and clouds perceptions, stealing the innovative possibilities of my sovereign emergence. And that's something I've really awakened to in my life, is the sovereign emergence or sovereign liberation. But when I'm allowing my thinking, memory, mind, and all my imprinted stuff from my subconscious to control my life, it steals that. It clouds it, steals it, and it takes it away from me. As I now understand, a cultural conditioned belief operates like railroad tracks, directing thought patterns through into predefined routes on the way I choose to embrace and handle my life. And then when it really comes into the situation, the way I've always done things shows up, and that's the way I do it. And my predefined roots stop liberated movement. And it really does. As beliefs are inherited rather than consciously chosen, they reinforce stagnation, preventing me from rising out of the situation and to unleash the energetic wisdom and autonomous expansion within me. But as I open up to letting go, questioning, and listening to beliefs, it routes out my energized peace to swiftly unleash my athletic audacity, turns on my keen keys of free that unsheaths my enterprising prowess, intuits my empire building acumen, dissolving subconscious mind confinement. As my keen keys exhilarate my sovereign liberated vision, instantly and inquisitively question, why are my viewpoints, opinions, and beliefs my comfort zone cloning? Cognitive recollections and mindset resistance that control me from my subconscious mind's frozen in time's emotions and representations. That's something I really want to open up to. Emotions. And you know, when you get unsavory emotions or, well, just hurt emotions, they play a lot into your life. And they're all structured echoes of inherited cognitions, as viewpoints, opinions, and beliefs are far from just existing. As my viewpoints, opinions, and beliefs mirror my collection, my mirror cognitive recollections within me, and they shape my comfort zone. That's something I really opened up to understanding. All this stuff is I liberate me from me and my comfort zone. And, you know, is it comfortable be filled with unsettling emotions, feelings, and all that? Or is it a comfort zone when you're out in the world and you're instigating your desired lifestyle? And it's really about the cognitive recollection shape the comfort zone familiarity. Comfort zone is a familiarity with everything that's going on. And as long as it's going inside that little, on them railroad tracks, you're good. But when them railroad tracks run out, then you're into your innovative wizardry. As my opinions, beliefs, viewpoints control my perceptions, as my comfort zone clone familiarity, where my repetitions that reinforces past mental tracks. That's what a railroad tracks is mental tracks. Preventing sovereign elevation, as collective recollection dictate alignment through inherited viewpoints, shape default thinking, resisting liberated perceptions. Man, after I read that and I wrote that, I says, that's occurred in my life a bunch. It just has. And I used to think if I believed something and beliefs, they'd get me through life. But all they did was keep me stuck in the muck of myself. As mindset resistance solidifies patterns, fear of uncertainty keeps the cognitions locked in the fixed routes of your railroad tracks right into the desert of whatever. Subconscious imprinting sustains control. And that is true. Has it ever occurred in your life where something out here occurred and you instantly reacted to it? Oh, pick me. Hell yes, I have. Sometimes it wasn't very pretty. And then I could throw my little dizzy twits and my fits, and all it was outside of my comfort zone. Instead, and I was in my comfort zone familiarity rather than my on my featureless canvas of my trailblazer tenacity, to look at it as a fun of the sun experience to rise, shine, and liberate me from me. As deep-rooted emotions attach meaning to beliefs, making them feel unshakable. Beliefs make emotions feel unshakable. Has that ever happened to you? It has me. One thing I've really opened up to is, if you can admit it, you encompass it. You can face and embrace it, then facilitate, participate in your sovereign liberation, to liberate you from you. And all the self-help, personal growth, self-improvement, all that stuff, all you are is trying to liberate you from your subconscious frozen in time imprints. And I can never say it any easier than that, because if you think somebody did something to you in the physical world, you ingrained it, but you're blaming them instead of being responsible for getting rid of them. Frozen in time representations distort present moment, events, encounters, and experience. Memories filter reality, truth, and reality, influencing interpretation beyond the immediate now. As I awaken to understand, sovereign listening dissolves stagnation, but also sovereign listening and intuitive questioning dissolves stagnation. As you let go of the stagnation, you can energize your enterprising perceptions of the now, and it attunes to your activating innovative wisdom beyond the frozen constructs of everything you think you know, and everything within inside you. As I ask me how my opinions, beliefs, and viewpoints control my thinking, knowing, learning, knowledge, and thoughts, because they act as subconscious filters, shaping how information is processed, recalled, and integrated into my daily life through my perceptions. And that is something I really understand, is when something happens out here and it comes in, your subconscious mind is already forming your responses for you haven't really understand what is going on out in the real world. As you integrated into perceptions, your opinions, beliefs, and viewpoints control your thoughts, framing cognition, and beliefs dictate perspectives, feel valid, influencing your scope of reasoning. And that really hit home for me when I said, because they do. You can get frustrated, angry, and all that, and then the next thing you know, you're all in a tizzy, but really it's because our perspectives and our viewpoints, opinions went to a reactionary thing. And how many of us learned to react to life through anger and frustration? I did. I was really good at it. But when I started realizing everything that I get frustrated at today has come from my parents or my childhood and outside, because that's the way you could get attention. A lot of my anger come from me trying to get attention or trying to think I was a big shot. That one really sent me for a loopy doop. And, and fixing knowledge pathways, opinions can reinforce certain concepts while rejecting alternative insights. That is something I really understand, because you have concept, a wave of wisdom come in, but your stubbornness and hard-headedness won't let you maneuver out of it. That was me. You know, I get to laugh at this stuff because I laugh at me, I'm free. And shaping learning engagement mindset dictates openness beliefs can accelerate or restrict discovery. And that's something I understand is when something occurs in the physical world, what memory pops up, and that's how you respond. That's why when they say that guy's acting like a 2-year-old, that's about the year that occurred. And then when your memories resurface, how they're interpreted influences your thought formation and your responses. Every idea is filtered through underlying biases, affecting innovation, intuition, and liberated cognitions. As sovereign awareness dissolves the mental constraints when perception shift from conditioned limitation to fluid wisdom, and allowing your wisdom, insight, and clarity to rise you to the boundless inspiration within you. And something else, how blame and shame really opens things up for you. Because all them constraints in you is where your blame and shame hides. And that is something that keeps playing the mental loops and how it's perceived. As viewpoints do sustain self-imposed limitations, opinions create division, and frozen subconscious mind representations distort, and they open up to old imprints that will control your life. And the only way to rise out of beliefs is listen, energetically listen, and question them, and question your old way of life, bring it into now. And this is one I really wanted to get to, is why do my viewpoints, opinions, beliefs create my blame and shame? As my viewpoints and opinions and beliefs frame stubborn perception, shaping the way I internalize experiences. As I realize and esteem my viewpoints, opinions, and beliefs anchor into inherited narratives of fault and inadequacy, as they unconsciously generate cycles of blame and shame by filtering self-worth through external constructs. Beliefs impose a rigid expectation, and any deviation can trigger self-blame. Should say any deviation will trigger self-blame. And then it reinforces conditioned guilt. Because how guilty that didn't go my way. I must not be this and I must not be that. Guilt is a self-inflicted control mechanism we use to sabotage ourselves. Pick me, I was the best. And opinions are shaped by societal, ancestral programming, and education system may attach blame to natural expressions of autonomy and sustaining emotional loops of whatever happened. But if it's something unsavory happened, you're going to attach that emotion that is from your subconscious that's attached to that situation. And sometimes it never happens. And here's the thing, perfection programming may trap perceptions in self-recrimination rather than liberated energy. And it blocks the sovereign liberation within you. Beliefs dictate rigid identity structures that can suppress authentic self-evaluation. As blame and shame aren't inherent, They're reflections of programmed perceptions. And when you unleash your sovereign liberation, it disrupts these imprints and allows you to let them go. And if you are open up to listening, questioning, and comprehending the wisdom in situations, you liberate you from you. And that's the thing. All this self-help personal growth is about you liberating you from you. But I say it in first person. I liberate me from me. And when something unsavory happens, your thinking amplifies inner conflict. Overanalyzing the situation creates friction rather than fluid insight, rising you out of that. As knowing solidifies bias, what feels certain may actually be limiting sovereign liberation. Learning adopt external models. Structured absorption can reinforce collective cognitive constraints. Knowledge accumulates filters instead of expanding. It may narrow perceptions, if not, when never refined to wisdom. Thought cycle inherited resistance, replaying mental loops that create perceived obstacles. Viewpoints are self-imposed limitations, and if rigid, they can block liberated sovereign liberation. But as we're going through this, the thing about this is, it's all as sovereign clarity dissolves the illusion. A lot of your fake enemies are illusions of your own beliefs, opinions, and viewpoints, and your self-embedded way of thinking. You know, that's something I really understood, and I want to share with everybody. I stopped using thinking and knowing, because when I listen to a conversation, as soon as the words think and know come up, conversation goes very awry or goes very soft. You think and know your way to yesterday. You listen and question your way to the penthouse today. And I am Robert Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom. I want to thank you, and may your life be as blessed as you are a blessing to me and the world. And good night, and enjoy your weekend.